If there was one thing that you think you've been thoroughly misunderstood on, what would you say that thing is?
Well, I think that would be how majority of Nigerians always say Phyna is ras, Phyna is loud, maybe because of the way I behave or something, but I want them to understand that this is me, yeah? This is how I grew up, and there is nothing I can actually do about it.
Right.
This is more like the saying that they say, a dried fish cannot be straightened. If you try to straighten it, you break it. Yeah, so that's it, and I just wish they take it easy on the, oh, she's ras, she's loud.
So you don't think you're ras?
I won't call my behavior ras. I won't call it ras. I'll call it a means of survival. Because from where I grew up, you can't be growing up in that area and you're being calm, you're being normal. You need to be smart, you need to shine your eye, you just need to be there, even if you just need to get so. And now they make it seem like being loud, according to them, or ras, they make it seem like it's a total bad thing. They make it be like, oh, Phyna, no brand will want to work with you. You are ras, you are loud. No brand will want to associate. I'm like, come on. Yeah, I've had issues with my manager. I'll be like, yeah, Phyna, this brand came, but then the managing director said you're loud. You know, they said you are ras. You know, I keep saying it. This is the market. As a social media person, as a celebrity, personally, I have always wanted to be a celebrity. Growing up, I'll be like,
I love that.
Yeah, growing up, then I'll say, I must blow, I must glow. So you don't expect me to be blown now, and you're expecting me to be, no.
That's not what brought you here.
Thank you. That is not what brought me here. What brought me here is to come and put it in your face, to give it to you.
Right.
Because if I don't give it to you, how will you get it?
Your parents, what's your relationship with them?
Oh, yeah, okay, my parents. Well, I grew up with my auntie, actually, so I'm not that close with my parents. I'm not that close, but definitely they say parents, not parent, papa na papa, mama na papa. So that's
They're alive.
They're alive.
What happened? Why weren't you close to them? You didn't grow up with them?
I didn't grow up with them.
Why not?
Then, according to them, my dad then, like, I think financial issues, and his sister also, she didn't have a female child, so she wanted a female child, so my dad just gave me to her, and I grew up with her.
Right. Was he separated from your mom?
No, they're together
So they're together?
Till now.
Right. Did that affect you in any way, the fact that you didn't grow up with your parents?
Well, yeah, I would say I grew up without parental love. Well, my growing up was just somehow, it was just anyhow.
Could you describe what anyhow? Give me an example of what you mean by anyhow.
Okay, first, going to school was by my choice.
Okay.
Yeah, nobody
encouraged you to go to school.
The encouragement is very far from. Encouragement is very far from. Like, I would legitimately say the family where I came from is when you are being born, that is it. Yeah, so if you go chop, now you sabi. If you go school, if you go wear clothes, that's on you. So
wow.
Just be grateful that they've even brought you to this life. So I remember going to school. My auntie saw me through school, through primary and secondary school. And I remembered when I was in SS3. My auntie, there were two. I was living with one. Then the younger sister is also in that same community. So that one, we always tell the one I'm staying with, you are taking care of this girl now. You are training her. If she becomes rich tomorrow, it is her father she will first carry bag of rice and go and greet. It is her mother she will buy Hollandis for. You are just wasting your time, you know. And then I was really stubborn growing up. I was very stubborn.
You agree?
Yes, I agree. I stubborn. If you say, don't pass here, that place where you say, now there I want pass, because waiting will happen.
Yeah.
So I was still a good girl though. So I was with her, myself, and my cousin, a guy. Luckily for us, they now had to change our school. First of all, that my auntie convinced the other of my auntie that I'm staying with that. Oh, you're training these children in private school. Private school? No, they're made in government school. They changed our school first. From private school, went to government school.
Yeah.
So we were there. So this fateful day, when it was time for WAEC and NECO, this man came. that he wanted to do scholarship.
Right.
I remember his name. His name is Mantis Imoere Ahigbe from Edo State.
Okay.
Now they needed the best students that are students from SS or GSS. They don't need, you don't need students that come in doing what they call them external candidates.
Yes.
They don't need external candidates.
Right.
Now their own brilliant students that they had, they were about 5,
Okay.
and the man wanted to enroll for 10. They now said, okay, since it's like that, all the students should write the exam. That's we were about 133 in SS3 in that school. We wrote the exam. We came out. The man, that day they now came. The day they wanted to pay for students. They now called 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Called 10 of us. I was the only girl among them. Myself and my cousin made it to the stuff, and the man paid WAEC and NECO for us. That was how I wrote WAEC and NECO in the first place.
Right.
If not that man, I'm not going to write.
Really?
Now, yeah. So moving forward, it was time for higher institution. Story came again. No, if I don't train you for school now your papa, mama, you go remember, you go do this one. I will call my daddy. They will not pick my call. I will call my mommy. She will not answer me. I will cry. I said, what will I do now? That my cousin, his own mother now sent Monday, now registered him in computer. That time, go and learn computer. I will cry. I will be like, I want to leave. They say, call your father. I will call my father. My father will not answer me. I couldn't take it again. I ran away from home.
Right. Let's switch it up. What exactly happened at the reunion? It was quite heavy.
It was heavy. First, the reunion, I didn't want to go.
Okay.
I didn't want to go.
Okay, why not?
I just had the feeling, it's just like I knew something that won't favor me was going to happen.
Okay.
I didn't want to go. They kept on calling me. This, that.
Are you contractually liable to go to the reunion, or you can say no?
I am.
Okay.
I am.
Right.
I am. So they, at some point, they now reminded me of the contract. Right. I also reminded them of the contract. We reminded ourselves, let me keep my own part that I reminded them.
Right, okay.
So they now realized, okay, we haven't been meeting too. So I had my stand. Right. So I went. Day one, I sat down on my own. I was wearing black elegantly. They asked first person question that concerns me. The person answered it in a way that didn't balance well in my ear. Now, the actual Phyna would spark, but because to show how uninterested I was, I didn't say anything. And we were there. Ebuka now asked a question. I was answering this question quietly. Nobody has ever seen me talk like that. The whole housemates were even shocked. And the next thing, Chichi started insulting me. She called me shapeless. You have saggy boobs. You are abortionist. You are a drug addict. You junkie. With your reckless father that you... I got my father a car. Even when I was in the house, I said my dad has never driven a new car before. It's always not this Volvo they use for ambulance. He usually buys them for his job. He had about 10. That is... So I was like, I was going to buy my dad a car. So when I came out, I bought my dad. Yeah. She used it to insult me. And the Tokumbo car that you manage and buy for your father. God, between God and man, I was just there looking at her. So the only thing I said that day, day one of reunion was the day I wore black gown. The only thing I said to her was, not be me go help you raise your dead career. And the point where I said that was when she called me beggar of love, man snatcher. That was where I said, not be me go help you raise your dead career. She now said, go and die. I kept quiet. Now, that was how that day went to. I didn't say anything. Chude, when I went home that day, I couldn't sleep. I was having chest pain. I was restless. This one is not because the insult pained me. It was because I didn't answer. I now told myself that what will happen now is, the only thing that can save her now is tomorrow, if she did not talk to me. That's the only thing. That if she talked to me, I will give her. That was what I promised myself. I now told my manager, I said, what's up? Am I allowed to gbas? He said, you are allowed.
Is the manager here?
He's here. I asked. I made sure I asked.
Right.
Am I allowed to gbas? He said, you are allowed. I said, good. And luckily, the next day was Gen Z. And my favorite attire is hoodie. Joggers, and everybody knows.
You came for war.
Yes. That was what I was wearing. And I even refused to sit on a comfortable couch.
So that you are ready.
I was sitting on, those two that you will sit down, your bum will be halfway, your legs go dey ground. When they pain. That was what I was sitting on. We started though. We were going. The thing was flowing. Ebuka now asked me something again. Chichi has a very low voice. Chichi is an Edo girl like me. Right,
yes.
If there is something about me and Chichi, we think alike. We are very smart, and we think really fast.
Right.
Now, Ebuka asked something. She has a very low voice. I heard her. Definitely, in fact, if nobody go hear her, me suppose hear.
Okay.
Immediately, she already says saggy boobs again. And I want people to understand something, that me, Phyna, if they had watched that reunion, the way I attacked her, they should have known she said something. But that part was mute. Right. It didn't come out in the reunion. They just put when I do, hey. So that was the point where I had to, when she said that again, I just like, oh, dear. Because the previous day, you body shamed me. You called me shapeless and saggy boobs. That was why I had to use the word for her, that she has silicone in her boobs, her ass, and even in her brain. Do you get? Because you cannot be body shaming me that have a natural body. I had to remind her that there are stuffs. So this is me. You get? Now, if you check, everything she used in insulting me was what I used in insulting her back. Right. You called me an abortionist. I reminded you that you have 2 kids that you abandoned. This is everywhere on social media. People know you. So you can't call me abortionist now. I should be clapping for you now. Do you get? Right. You called me, what else? I've even forgotten. So everything that I used in insulting her
were things that
she said to me first.
Right.
Now, when reunion was aired, I was shocked that day 1 was not aired. Day 2 was aired where I was insulting her. So it was now like I was insulting her, telling her that she has silicone, that she abandoned. It was like me coming for her unprovoked. I saw it. And it was obviously like me coming for her. Even me itself, I now sat down as if I wasn't at the reunion. I was like, okay, Phyna really, they come for her unprovoked. But that wasn't it. You came for me first. Right. You even insulted my dad. Right. You broke-shamed him. You called me junkie, drug addict. You called me beggar of love, beggar of man snatcher. So I was trying to balance. Okay, why didn't they air day 1?
Yes.
Why airing day 2? I was pissed.
Did you ask them?
Yes, I did.
What did they say?
They didn't reply me. Nobody replied. I messaged like 4 people from that company. Nobody replied me. And guess what? This was before I made video. Immediately when I saw it, I'm like, ma'am, sir, what's going on? I was in pain that day. When nobody was answering me, I had to defend myself. I had to make videos that this is not day 1 clip. This is day 2. After this girl has said a whole lot to me already. Right. Do you get? Right. I reached out to today, nobody answered me. And then, a few weeks later, this girl is suing me to court 100 million. Monique Bebawo. I saw it. What's defamation of character? What was the thing called?
Libel and defamation of character.
Yes. I saw it. They sent it through to the email. My manager saw it, sent it to me. I'm like, wow, this is getting interesting. I now called my lawyer. I'm like, okay, if we do not reply to this law, whatever, what will happen? My lawyer said, if we do not reply in like 7 days, she can charge me to court straight. I'm not like, okay, now that one go, now we go do. We not go reply. Right. We will not go. That's why I told that we not go reply. So we now calculated the 7 days. I think the next day was on Tuesday. I bought suits. Okay. I bought suits that I wanted to wear to court. I got suits. Before then, I prepared. I got suits. I got white sleeves. I got shoes. I was ready. I was now happy that when we get to court, I would tell court that, please, I will not request for that day 1 clip. I was very happy. Because I now started reading all these their session A, whatever. And now someone part that they said, if the guilty, whatever, acts on provocation or something, the guy they think writes the English, I say thank God, do. And I say thank God, though. Thank God, say they provoke me. At least I will not take court that the video they air is not clip 1.
Yeah.
It should air clip of day 1. Yeah. At least it be court for come request. I was so happy. So we wait till Tuesday go, 1 week go, 2 weeks.
And you don't buy
go.
cloth already?
I don't. But now waiting pay me pass be that. Now waiting pay me pass. I don't deal because at that point it wasn't about her anymore to me. Right. I needed that this clip out so people will see how this girl finished me. That even people will be shocked the way I sat down looking at her. I'm sure people will be shocked because that day I was just not in the mood. And another thing, the corset, my stylist corset, it was so tight. I can't even breathe. So a lot of things were
affecting you on that day that you could not talk.
I'm telling you, a lot of things, and the gown was heavy. A lot of things, the corset was I was going through a lot that day. And that day, my contact lens was not balanced. I was just,
You were not at your best that day. No.
So it was the next day that I was
you were ready. You even sat down properly.
Do you get?
Yeah, I get you.
So it was crazy, and now turned out that during the reunion, everybody saw me as a bad person, that I'm body shaming her. I'm like, come on.
Yeah.
Because the one was not played.
Did you have a personal fight outside?
Okay, that is crazy because people think because we were roomies 1 week before the show started on the lockdown, they thought maybe I told her
all your life story, yes.
First thing first, let me even start by saying we never had such discussions.
Right.
When we were on the lockdown, the only thing I and Phyna always discuss is what we are going to do on the show. We plan together. We're going to be besties. We are going to be this. If somebody come for us, we will come for them, blah, 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 blah. So that was the only thing we were talking about. And the other thing was my body. She asked me if I got my body done, she would like to and all that. And I was like, yes, I got BBL done. Right. So she was like, you're going to give me your doctor's number. And I was like, after the show, we can discuss that. But right now, let's focus on the show. You know, Big Brother always have his way of doing things, like he splitted us and all that. So the second day I climbed, I never knew I was going to go on that show again because I was the last girl that climbed the stage and second to the last person that I already gave up, like, oh God, these people just left me. But fortunately, I just saw myself on that stage and it is what it is. So when I went into the house, I was hoping to see Phyna, but I didn't see her. So we're asking ourselves, where are the other people and all that. So I was already telling my housemate how Phyna is energetic and all that. Before the lockdown, Phyna has met me once where I used to strip. You know, sometimes she goes to clubs to hide. So she has met me once because they paid me to come work for a place in Abuja. So the stage where we are dancing, I was a stripper. If you step on that stage, because I'm a pole flyer, I fly pole very well, so I don't like my skin touching there. So when immediately she stepped on the stage, I came down and I told the coordinator that I can't dance on that stage. My person is already on that stage and you know, my body, I'm going to have reactions. I have a sensitive skin. So that was the only day. And we never said hi to each other until the lockdown. So I never knew her until the lockdown. It was the owner of the club that I told I was going to go on BB and that he should support me with anything. I'm still his girl. So then I think he told Phyna, because Phyna told him that she was going on the show too. And I was like, do you know Sweet, that my girl that came to dance here so time, she's going on the show. Have you contacted, like, tried to call her and all that? She was like, she doesn't have my number and all that. We have never said hi to each other before the show. So there are so many things that people think we are parties, we are friends. It wasn't true. So during the lockdown, when we were in the bus, they were taking us to our hotel room, was when I looked back, I was like, are you the girl? Because the way she was talking, I'd be happy. I remembered. I was like, I was the one that reminded her. I was like, you the girl that climbed like my stage when I was dancing. She was like, oh, now you, even the man told me they accepted you are going to go on the show. I was like, you see life, you see fate. Fortunately, we are literally, you know, roomies. This is a joke, right? So I was like, this is going to be fun. You're a hype girl. We have the same kind of related energy. I think we can pull this up. Let's kill it. I love friendship a lot because I don't really get to have lots of friends and they mean a lot to me. So because we've already bonded in the lockdown, I never one day told her, oh, I was married or this one. I don't even know where that came from in the first place. At the end of the show, I saw some clips where she was saying, oh, Chichi can do anything for money. Maybe she already saw me as a joke. Maybe the way I was saying, I was going to kill it, Yes, I had that mindset to kill it, go all out. But at the same time, things happen, life happened, and I felt like, I don't want to ruin this with my hotness. Let me try to chill so that God will also perfect things for me in the house. That's why I took a break from being so hot and all feisty and all that. But they thought I was being stupid and all that. Not that I was protecting myself. And I'm too hot because when I want to react, I overreact. So instead of me not to go all out, so let me take it slow. So that was just that. Then just few times, friends do have misunderstandings. There were times in the house where I said hi to her, she was ignoring me and all that till we said, so those times we're not speaking to each other. I also said, oh, Phyna, we're going to put her up. It's just emotions, the way I felt at that time. Why is she ignoring me? So when we settled again, I was still that loyal friend. Did I kill somebody? Like, what did I do wrong that is so evil that the grace can never be extended to me, but can be extended to others? But when it comes to me, it's as if I am a devil. At a point, I accepted that I was the villain. But please, leave this villain alone. Stop speaking about me and let me, so that I will have a little peace of mind. But still, it wasn't working. So that was just that. So unfortunately, what she was saying during the reunion, I was very, very shocked.
So do you think that your fellow housemates were surprised to see that you could defend yourself because they've always seen that side of you that was just quiet because of what you were trying to achieve?
Well, I think they are surprised. You know, at first, maybe they think they won me during the reunion before it was aired. I myself, to be honest, Chude, after the reunion, I was depressed.
Really?
For a very long time. I deactivated my Instagram, my Twitter, my social medias. I wasn't going there. Even till now, sometimes I'm on, off, because it's not easy for me. I manage every situation all by myself. So it's not easy for me to skate through those phases. And so sometimes I just want to sit back, take it one step at a time so I wouldn't lose my mind because of the things. Because I went for the reunion to clear things out, like I say. If someone say, oh, Chi, you did this to me, I am ready to say, okay, sorry about that, let's move on. You guys don't just understand my kind of person. It takes time to understand my kind of person because I did not grow up like every other person. Like I said earlier, I raised myself. The way I raised myself is how I know best. I wasn't raised under any governance or anyone. That's why sometimes I think I don't know how to, you know, respond to things in the proper way because I just say it the way I see it. And it's always a problem for people. So I just feel like I want to adjust, I want to learn. I am a teachable person. I want to learn and I want to, you know, become a better version of myself because there are so many narratives and drama around me and people think that I'm all feisty, or she got tattoos, or she was a stripper, or she's this, she's that. But you don't even know the story behind all those things, right? So I was there to just make peace. But when I saw that they were coming for me, they're just coming from different sides. I'm like, these people, you don't know me. If you know me, you will know that, in fact, I can stand up for myself amongst any storm. I can talk it out and just move on. I don't want all that drama. So when I saw the whole thing, I'm like, I just need to speak up for once for myself because this is a show. This is reunion. This is not the BBN house anymore where you have to play the game. Are you coming to the reunion to play a game? You are coming to make peace, move on. That is why it's called reunion. So I thought we were going there to reunite, but unfortunately for me, as usual, it was something else and it wasn't easy for me. But I thank God.
So you're saying that that whole reaction from her, you don't understand where it came from. Like, you people hadn't had a fight, you people had not fought over something. Like,
No.
it just came out of nowhere.
Yes, because there was one time before the reunion, I think early January or late December, she called me. She was like, did you unfollow me? And I was sleeping. So I was like, unfollow you? Why would I unfollow you? Am I moving mad? We don't have any misunderstanding. We are not fighting. We are not quarreling. Why would I unfollow? She was like, oh, my manager told me that you unfollowed me. I was like, well, you have your Instagram. You can always check. She was like, no, I'm not going on Instagram until they drag me, until they insult me and all that. I was like, you would have just checked to confirm before you called. I did not unfollow you. I don't have any reason to unfollow you. So when she unfollowed me in January, when we were at SA, I called her. I tried to, give her the same benefit of doubt by calling her. I can even show you the message I sent to her. I called her, she did not pick. I tested her on Instagram. I was like, did you just wake up and decide to unfollow? Or are we having issues I'm not aware of? She did not respond. I tested her on WhatsApp, she did not respond. I don't have patience for unnecessary things. So I just went there, I was like, I can't be putting on forced things. I don't like forced relationships or friendships. Let me just unfollow too. Let us be mutual, let us be on the same page. Maybe when you are ready to talk to me as an adult, we'll know if we have issues for that to be going on. So I unfollowed too. That was it. So that was just, we never spoke again.
So she never told you why she unfollowed you?
No, and I asked. Yeah. She never did. I called several times, like at least 3 times. She didn't pick. And my cousin, who was at home, is a witness because I called her. I called this guy. I was like, why did she unfollow? I mean, a mistake or something is going on. And I was not the only one she unfollowed that day. So I wanted to know if there was a problem or, sometimes you can be sad and you just feel like everybody around you is hurting and you just want to, detach from them. So I thought maybe she was facing that, she was just unfollowing people for that reason. So I wanted to know what the problem is. So what the problem was rather. So she did not respond and like, there's no need, I've tried my best. Usually, my kind of person will not even ask, I won't follow. Right. But I did call because she called me to ask. Do you know when I came to Lagos, I knew nowhere in Lagos. All I know is that I entered bus to Lagos.
So you didn't have where you were going to in Lagos?
I don't even have a home in Lagos. So all I know is that I entered bus to Lagos. And when I came to Lagos, I just dropped at where the last place the driver dropped the last person. That's where I stopped. So when I stopped there, the girl, thank God it was a girl that stopped last. I asked her, I said, I don't know anywhere here, and I need a place to stay. Please, can I stay with you? She was like, oh, she lives with her parents, and her parents won't allow that. But she has a friend that lives somewhere. She's going to connect me with the girl. She called the girl. So the girl was like, oh, where she's staying, there's space. Even if there's no space, we'll manage. That was the first place I lived in Lagos. So I took the girl's number, and I called her. So she directed me to that girl's house. Well, paying, I think, then it was 8K a week. Chude, I could barely afford. I don't even, where would I see 8,000 naira a week to pay for my own space every week? First week, she paid for me. So the second one, she was like, oh, you need to hustle. It wasn't working for me. This hookup thing never worked for me. I always fight with them. I always have issues with them. Like, I can't do this. So why I started stripping was, there's this lady that came. She sells lingeries and 90s, all those sleepwears for girls. So she came, each time she called, she would call me, Oyibo, fine girl, come and patronize me. I'll be like, I don't have money. So each time she comes like every other day. So one day she was teasing me, you don't have money. Anytime I come here, how can you say fine girl like you don't have? I was like, Auntie, I don't have money. If I have money, I would have loved to buy. This one don't even know if I have pants. So I was like, I don't have money. So the other day, I think she took it serious. She was like, okay, when I'm done selling, I'll talk to you. So she called me later on aside and was asking me, why don't you have money? You're always saying you don't have money since I've been seeing you here and all that. And it was barely 1 month for me in Lagos. So I told her, I don't have money. Like, I'm struggling to even raise money to even pay for my weekly rent and the rest and discussing issues. Then she asked me a question, can you strip? I wasn't even thinking when I said yes.
Just wanted any way to get out of what you were
Yes.
dealing with.
So the only thing I remember, I said, as long as I won't be sleeping around, because I can't, it's difficult for me, I will do it. So she was like, okay, you are fine, you have the body, I'll call someone. I don't want to mention the name of the club, but it's online. Everybody knows where I used to work. Actually, it's Silverford. So then she was like, she supplies lingeries for them. So she knows their manager. She's going to speak to their manager on my behalf. But before she left, she called the man. So the man was on a video call with her, and he was like, let me see her. So when he saw my face, he was like, oh, she's a fine girl, a young fine girl. We will like this kind of person. The man was like, I'm going to come the next day for an interview. So when I went for the interview the next day, the manager was like, I have to wait for the boss to come. So when the boss called me, I'm just so tiny, right? So I was looking like an underage. Then the boss wasn't interested. He was like, how old are you? I told him I was 18. I was like, no, you're not 18. Are you? I said, sir, I am 18. No, I just clocked 18. So he wasn't interested in picking me because he was scared of what people are going to say, and I'm tiny. So I remember begging him so much that I needed this, and I'm going to work hard. I need it to survive. I'm going to work hard. He asked me, have you stripped before? I said, no, but I'm going to learn. He said, how are you going to learn? I said, I'm going to learn. I will do it. I'm going to dance. I'll make sure I'm making money. Then he said he was going to give it a thought. He never got back to me. So because I have the manager's number, I started disturbing him. Then I told him, please help me. Then he was like, do you have clothes and shoes, your stripper shoes? I told him I had none. So I called the lady. May God bless that lady wherever she is, because she sells lingerie. So she gave me some lingerie on credit. She also gave me a stripper shoe on credit. She was like, when you start making money, pay me my money.
God bless her.
I remember the first day I climbed that stage as a stripper. Holding that pole alone, I was shaking and crying because I cannot even imagine how automatically I was a stripper, and I don't know how to even use the pole. I remember how many times I fell on that stage because the shoe was so high. Then the coordinator had to bring me down so that I won't be doing that in the presence of customers, because I barely know anything. I don't even know anything about it. So they started teaching me. They gave me 1 week to pick up to know how to wear my shoes. If not, they're going to, tell me to go home. Then each time I remember that if I don't work hard for this, they're going to send me home. I needed to learn. By the time I learned, I turned the pro on that pole. So I started dancing, and I was making money. It's just that if I can't say I was making money. So it was a good thing. And before I knew it, I was just making so much money. I could pay the woman. I could just rent a place within a month. I was shocked. The kind of money I was making, I've never seen that kind of money in my life. So it was a blessing. I can never regret, even in my old age, when I grow old, I will never regret ever stripping in my life because it saved me. I had a